The words fell like ice between them. The billionaire's voice was calm, controlled, and painfully final. He looked at the tired man standing in front of him and said the sentence that would echo in both of their lives forever: he couldn't love a single dad. The single father stood there silently, his little daughter's hand wrapped around his finger, her small shoes dusty from the long walk they had taken just to reach that office. He had not expected kindness from a billionaire. But he had hoped for a little humanity. What happened next, however, would shock everyone, including the billionaire himself. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that remind us of the good still left in this world, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who believes in compassion, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Stories for more emotional and inspiring journeys. Daniel Carter had once lived a simple, peaceful life. He wasn't rich, but he had enough. A steady job repairing elevators in old buildings across the city. A small apartment that smelled like fresh coffee every morning. And a wife who used to laugh easily. But life has a cruel way of rewriting happy endings. 3 years earlier, Daniel's wife had walked out, leaving behind only a short note and a quiet 2-year-old girl named Lily. She said she couldn't handle motherhood, couldn't handle the struggles, couldn't handle a life that didn't revolve around her dreams. Daniel never tried to chase her. He was too busy learning how to braid tiny strands of hair, how to warm milk bottles at 3 a.m., and how to comfort a crying toddler who didn't understand why her mother was suddenly gone. The nights were long. The money was tight. But Daniel never complained. He worked harder than ever. Long hours repairing machinery in dusty buildings, climbing narrow metal shafts with aching muscles while his phone alarm reminded him it was time to pick Lily up from daycare. Every night, no matter how exhausted he was, he made sure Lily laughed before bedtime. Because to Daniel, her smile was everything. But then life struck again. One winter morning, Daniel's company suddenly shut down. The building owner had declared bankruptcy. The workers were dismissed with a few words and no severance pay. Daniel walked out of the office carrying his toolbox and a quiet panic growing in his chest. He had a daughter to feed. Bills to pay. And no job. For weeks he searched for work. He visited factories, warehouses, maintenance companies. Everywhere he went, the answer was the same polite rejection. Employers saw a hard-working man, yes, but they also saw a single father who might miss shifts if his child got sick. To them, he was a risk. The rent notices began appearing on the apartment door. Daniel skipped meals so Lily could eat properly. He sold his old motorcycle. Then he sold the television. But there was only so much he could sell. One evening, while Lily colored quietly on the floor with broken crayons, Daniel stared at a newspaper advertisement. A large corporation was opening a new complex downtown. They were hiring maintenance staff. The company belonged to Ethan Blake. Everyone in the city knew that name. Ethan Blake was the youngest billionaire in the region. A man known for his sharp business mind and cold efficiency. His companies built luxury towers, private hospitals, and high-end technology parks. But people also whispered something else. Ethan Blake hated complications. And in business, people were often the biggest complications. Still, Daniel had no other choice. The next morning, he dressed in his cleanest shirt, packed Lily's small backpack with snacks, and took the bus across the city. The corporate tower looked like something from another world. Glass walls reflecting the sky. Polished floors that shined like mirrors. Daniel felt small walking inside. But Lily squeezed his hand and smiled. And somehow,